integrity window installation อย่าไปมองลูกคือเขาว่าเจเนี่ยต่อเขาสังมินนิโซตาไปต่อเขาลุยองรู้เข้าใจเทียสอเจเทียวอเจแต่ฉันเอาไปมวยเขาโปรแกรมสลีปเล่าพาดอลลาร์ลอป้าก็เทขอเชิงเดอก็มาลิวอลีเทต่อก้าก็ลงก็จะเข้าใจตาเหลอก็ยเซก็จองเกฮีอินดาสุดสลุลียก็จะเข้าใจกูเลยอูเดตุสต้องโตชีโปรเปอีอีชีอีโตชีโปรเปอีอีชีอีโตไปจะเขาลือไปจัวว่าจะเขาสังมินโซตาซื้อ
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today on this beautiful Saturday. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. I'm Leej Vang, an active community member of Central Wisconsin. And before we get too far, I want to take time to acknowledge State Representative Clint Anderson from Beloit, County Board members John Robinson, Randy Radke, Bill Conway, and Jane Roosh on the Wausau School Board. Again, I'm Leej Vang, and I'm deeply honored to be here today to witness Neng Xiong announce the start of his campaign journey for the 85th Assembly District. I've never met such a committed young man with relentless passion and high resiliency to fight every single day, serving the people in this community in a way that elevates them and impacts all the organizations and spaces he occupies and cross paths with. Through his contributions and hard work ethics, it revealed his relentless ambition to lead a successful track record of concrete work in this community, enriching lives 3 to 5 generations deep. Yiling's exposure to a vast personal and professional experience built his foundation to scale a wide range of perspective in order to calibrate strategic ideas and solutions, preparing him for this very moment and role. Before Yiling graces us with his presence, we have some guest speakers who will share knowledge on the important role of the 85th Assembly District and Yiling's portfolio of work. Our first guest speaker is Mandy Roberts. Please welcome her.
First of all, let me just say what a joy it is to be here as a community for all. So when I was heavily involved in politics about 10 years ago, Yi was there at every step of the way. And what makes that really incredible is he was 17, 18. And I was so impressed with his commitment to not only inviting me into all the places and spaces of the 85th Assembly District that he so ably inhabits, all the strong relationships that he had made. I was invited to many business openings, many festivals. There were so many opportunities to engage with my district that I really, really, truly appreciated. But he also came along with me. And I think that really speaks to the integrity of Yi. He's an incredible person. I'm so proud to call him a friend. And I'm really, truly thrilled that he is running for the 85th Assembly District. In my tenure as a state representative, I served while we still had gerrymandered maps. It was nearly impossible in the minority to get anything done. Not nearly, it was impossible. And I really felt the most important role that I could play was to be a spokesperson. To be a spokesperson for reasonable democratic policies that are so often characterized by fear from opposition. I felt it was incredibly important to be a spokesperson for the people of the 85th Assembly District, no matter what party they adhere to. And I would say that is also an extremely important role that Yi will play when he is elected. And I look forward, now that unfortunately we do not have our mayor anymore, to Yi taking on that position, because from Central Wisconsin North, we have very, very, very little representation for our values, and it's incredibly important to have someone respected in the community who is speaking up and giving reason to all the issues that come up. But more importantly than that, the maps have changed. And Yi has a real possibility for actually changing legislation. So I cannot tell you enough how excited I am to support Yi, to get out and knock doors, to make donations, and thrilled that I am here at his kickoff to see all of you in your heart, hopefully, making those same commitments to knock those doors, make the donations, and make sure that Yi becomes the next representative for the 85th Assembly District. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mandy, for that very important information. Our next speaker is John Robinson. He was the 40th mayor of Wausau, Wisconsin, and represented Wausau for 4 terms in the Wisconsin State Assembly. He currently serves on Marathon County Board of Supervisors, and in 1974, at the age of 18, he was elected to the Wausau City Council and the Marathon County Board, the youngest person ever elected to either organization. He served on the City Council and County Board until the election to the Wisconsin State Assembly. Please welcome John Robinson.
Thank you, Lada. It's a great day. Who can ask for anything better? And I think the sun is shining. It's time for new beginnings. And I'm very pleased to be here to help kick off a campaign that may help bring about those new beginnings. I've known Yi for 8+ years, and when he was first elected to the county board, I was privileged to be his mentor, which means they assigned somebody young or new to somebody old and senile. And but I was impressed with Yi's quest for knowledge. He really wanted to understand how the county worked, how people worked together, what the issues were, and how to get things done. And we would meet for lunch, egg rolls or other things periodically, and just talk about how to get along with people. And one of my favorite sayings throughout my political career is remember the next vote. And that you need to treat people with respect. And I shared with Yi, and I think you remember, one of my favorite books that was given to me when I was in the legislature, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu was a Chinese general, but he wrote more about life than he did about war, and about certain principles and giving your opponents a way out of tough situations, building their trust, and then you can forge through new relationships. But working together is important. And if you've watched Yi throughout his career, I don't know if I can call it career because he's still so young, but whether it is in the Weston Village Board, whether the DC Everest School Board, the County Board, or working within the community with the Hmong American Association and others, he has embodied the principles of working with and collaborating and bringing people together. When he received a very racist letter, he saw it not as a racist opportunity, but an opportunity to engage and educate and try to change people's minds. We see that all the time on the county level, and we need more of that in Madison. I think Yi brings those principles of understanding people's needs, the need for inclusion, the need for diversity, the need for engagement together, and works very well with people. And it is those principles that are why we ought to be supporting him. Yi's been a strong proponent of implementing the county strategic plan. Inclusiveness, diversity, trying to attract and retain talent, and promote from within and create opportunities for people to advance themselves. Those are traits that are rare in politics, and I'm really encouraged by his commitment to moving to Madison to try to have an opportunity to implement those ideals and bring those practices there together. And I'm very honored today to be able to endorse Yi. And before I turn over, I am his treasurer, and there are opportunities to give with Act Blue and other opportunities. So I would encourage you to look for Yi for Wisconsin, and let's get his campaign off to a strong start. Best of
Thank you, John, for sharing your story and wisdom. Moving to our next guest speaker is Donna Seidel. Donna Seidel is a former police officer and investigator, and the representative representing the 85th Assembly District from 2004 until 2013. Please welcome Donna Seidel.
Well, good afternoon. It certainly is great to see so many of you here today. This is an exciting time for the 85th District. Years ago, let me try to get this, okay. Years ago, I was elected to the Assembly and was fortunate to join a very proud history of strong Democratic leadership in Madison. Names like former Governor Tony Earl, Dave Obey, who following the legislative work he did in the Assembly, he went on to the U.S. Congress and became a powerhouse. John Robinson, Mandy Wright, Judge Greg Huber, and others on that list. And Yi Xiong is certainly going to be an impressive addition to that list. As you've heard, and as you've already heard, he is going to be very well prepared for the job. His background, his work history, his very strong connections to our community have been like on-the-job training for Yi for a number of years. So we are very excited about that. He is going to be an outstanding representative, working hard for us in Madison, crafting laws and developing public policy. But Yi's also going to remember that with the privilege of this position also means coming back into the community and reaching out to your constituents, listening and learning from groups of the 55,000 people he will be representing. And I am especially eager and confident to know that Yi will also be paying attention to a very important group in that 55,000 people, and that is our young people. Yi understands that the future is in their hands, and that young people need to understand that work with government and working in the political sphere is something not only essential, but honorable. So I am saying to Yi, meet with our young people. When they come to visit the majestic Capitol, be there with them. Go to their classrooms, I'm sure you will. Answer their questions and meet with them throughout the community. Because with that, they will listen to you, they will watch you, they will learn from you, and they will be inspired by you to make the world a better place for all of us. So I am very excited about that. So we know that Yi is well prepared for the campaign challenges ahead. But he needs our help, and with that help from us, and with our fair map, we are confident that we can send Yi to Madison in November. So let's get hard to work and make sure that that happens. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Donna, for sharing your wonderful experience working with Yi Lang and your words of encouragement and confidence. Our next speaker is Randy Radke. Randy Radke is the Vice President of North Central Wisconsin Central Labor Council and serves as president for 13 years prior. He is a long life member of this community and is involved with organizations committed to improving the lives of workers, whether through his labor positions or helping clean up the environment. Randy was just elected to serve on the Marathon County Board of Supervisors for District 10. Please welcome Randy Radke.
Thank you. Beautiful day with many beautiful, awesome people to join us here today. My name is Randy Radke. I'm excited to be here for the announcement that Neng Xiong is running for the 85th Assembly. I'm honored that I was asked to be here for someone as special as Yi. I could probably stand here for a few hours telling you why I support him, but I'll try and keep it short. First, as a labor leader, I know Yi is on the side of working families, and he knows the importance unions play in helping all workers have a better life. I've always been impressed with how much Yi is respected by all sides politically. I believe Yi has earned this respect because he approaches people by listening to and trying to understand where people are coming from, whether he agrees with them or not. He's a uniter, not a divider, and in a country so divided, we need more representatives like Yi, especially on the state level, to help us put the united back in the United States. As long as I've known Yi, he has worked towards what's best for the people. And if he's unsure of something, he's not afraid to ask someone. We need a representative in our state who's good at working with others, who has both knowledge and passion to do the right thing. This is why I am supporting, and I encourage others to support, Neng Xiong in Wisconsin for the 85th State Assembly race. Thank you for letting me speak, and wish you the best with your campaign, and let's give Yi a big hand, and let's support Yi. You make a good representative.
Thank you, Randy, for your powerful words displaying Yi Lang's integrity and hard work. Our next guest speaker is Mary Tao. Mary Tao is a businesswoman and a former member of the Wausau School Board and former City of Wausau alderperson, representing the people of District 10. She is a leader and strong community advocate and has been a close friend of Neng Xiong for years. Please welcome Mary Tao.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a great week so far for the Hmong Americans and the Asian Americans here in the state of Wisconsin. And it's only getting better because today I get the greatest honor and privilege to introduce Neng Xiong, who I value as a policymaker, a leader, a colleague, a friend, and a brother. I started scripting what I would say today, and then I had a conversation with him this morning that it probably wouldn't be like me, and that I should just free flow and speak from the heart and be authentic with all of you today. I was afraid that I would not remember all of his successes, all the stories, all the wins, and all the very hard lessons that came from those successes and those failures. Leaders like Yi Lang must represent you and me, because only through his lived experience and ours would there become wisdom. I've seen him fail, strike out, but he continues to play the game. And that, my friends, is someone that you want representing your voice and you in Madison. Someone who won't quit on us when it gets hard, and they're not just there when it's an easy win. Yi Lang was born and raised here in central Wisconsin. He currently resides in Weston, Wisconsin. After graduating from DC Everest High School, instead of pursuing his dreams with confidence, he decided to put his self-interest to the side so that he can work on connecting resources, programming that's going to create the future young leaders he wanted to see at the former Wausau Area Hmong Mutual Association, which is now called the Hmong American Center. He also worked relentlessly to protect and save the women and children of our community from domestic violence abusers while working at his employer at the women's community. Through his civic engagement and through his involvement, he was named Wisconsin Institution of Public Policies and Services Fellow in 2013. His commitment to listen, to serve, and to be a problem solver continues to grow. Later, Yi Lang would be elected to the DC Everest School District as the very first Hmong elected official for the DC Everest School District. I tell you, his passion for children and students and community members is at the heart of his priorities for all of us. He was able to work on bold vision at the DC Everest School District that many of us couldn't see past. And Yilang was able to work on things that were controversial, topics that would keep parents like you and me and citizens up at night. I want to say that it goes beyond that. He is not just a local level elected official. He has represented us in Madison through his efforts of representing the DC Everest School District at WASB, at the Wisconsin Association of School Boards, and it continues. His commitment and his engagement to continue to serve all of you and me continues to grow with his, and most recently with his elections to the Marathon County Board of Supervisors, where he is serving his 5th term. He continues to chair and be a part of committees that's going to benefit you and me as citizens. And it has gone on to serve as the Village of Weston trustee, where he served out 2 terms. I can go on and on with the list of accomplishments that Yilang has done, his services to all of us. And I tell you today, and in closing, I used to have conversations with Yilang about how we would need to check every single box, Yi. If we wanted to serve in Madison and serve the great people of Central Wisconsin, we had to check every single box. And I tell you today, Yilang, with great confidence and great enthusiasm, that you don't need to check all those boxes because you have surpassed all those boxes that need to be checked. And as I highlight just a couple of things, and please thank you for being so patient, because I get the honor to mention as many great things as I can about Yilang, because he needs no validation. And I guarantee you, I do not back someone that won't win. He will win. He will serve this great community, this great district. And I'm just honored to say, Yilang, please welcome him with great joy and enthusiasm as the candidate for the 85th Assembly.
I prepared a speech. But first and foremost, I want to use this opportunity here to thank all my friends, family members, community members, residents of the 85th Assembly, other elected officials. I see the representative Neng Xiong from Minnesota came all the way here to join us as well too. So thank you, Jay, for being here with us as well. If we can give him a round of applause as well too. I also want to acknowledge my fellow school board member, Larry Schaefer, for being here with us as well. Congratulations on his re-election. And I think I saw Alder Carol Lukens here as well too. If we could give her a round of applause as well. Just want to make sure that we acknowledge them as well too for their years of service and support with us. But I also want to start off by also acknowledging our clan leaders from the Hmong community as well. If all the clan leaders can please raise their hand as well too for being here with us today as well. As said earlier, my name is Neng Xiong, and I stand before you as a proud American, a proud Wisconsinite, and a proud child of refugees. My story and journey are not just my own. They echo the stories of countless Americans and Wisconsinites whose lives are woven with the very fabric of our nation's founding principles. My story began long before my birth in 1994. Fleeing war-torn Laos and the specter of persecution due to the Hmong's involvement in the military conflicts in Southeast Asia, my parents embarked on a journey to the United States in search of a better life, in search of the American dream. With nothing but the clothes on their backs, my parents, along with my grandparents, my cousins, my older brother, and fellow villagers, made their way through the jungle of Laos to reach Thailand. The sacrifices were great. They had to give up everything they knew. We lost family members along the way, and the horrors that they had to face remain unspoken to this day. But whatever was thrown at them, their determination was unwavering. Starting from humble beginnings, my family's first source of income was gathering worms at Marathon County Park to sell for a few dollars. Eventually, through hard work and determination, my parents found jobs in a meat processing factory in Iowa, where they moved to for a few years. But because my parents fell in love with central Wisconsin, they decided to move back to make this place their home. My father worked on a ginseng farm. My mom worked in a factory doing what she knew best, which was sewing. Eventually, 10 days before I was born, my father left his job at the ginseng farm and came to work at a factory in Merrill, where he joined the local union. I was born in Wausau and raised in Weston. We knew that our family wasn't rich. We knew what it felt like to live paycheck to paycheck and to be frugal to ensure we made ends meet. We would pour water into our detergent and shampoo to make sure they lasted longer. We ate rice with water, and we celebrated special occasions by going out to our local fast food chains. And if we were good, we would go to our local Chinese buffet. I graduated from DC Average School District in 2012 and attended the University of Wisconsin-Marathon County. However, financial constraints forced me to leave college and support my family by working various service-oriented roles. From a local grocery store to a nonprofit providing services to elders and individuals with disabilities, to a nonprofit serving victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking, and eventually to my role now as an executive at a nonprofit that provides services to Southeast Asian individuals. There at my employer, with the financial frugal mentality that I was taught when I was younger, I spent years working to build and bring back a nonprofit that was on the verge of closure to where it is now with a budget of over $1 million. In addition to bringing the nonprofit back from the depths of bankruptcy, I led it to secure and bring in millions of dollars in economic impact to our community, supporting local businesses and causing our tourism economy to bloom. Service has always been the core of my being, whether mentoring youth, supporting elders, or advocating for the voiceless. I have strived to make a positive impact on the lives of others. Through my mentorship, I have mentored dozens of youth, many who are now in the public sector as members of the armed forces, such as the Marines, National Guard, and some even became members of law enforcement. I've instilled in them the importance of service. Just like what I taught my youth, I too am committed to serving. My commitment to serving and community welfare led me to being elected to the DC Everett School District in 2014. There I championed students' rights, fought for competitive pay for our teachers and support staff, and ensured top-tier education while keeping taxes low. In 2016, I extended my impact by securing a position to the Marathon County Board of Supervisors, advocating for local businesses, the University of Wisconsin system, and enhancing county recruitment efforts. Through my various roles on various committees, I work to sustain transportation services for our elderly and individuals with disabilities. I work to enhance social services for elderly and disabled, for our children, and also strengthen mental health services in schools and work to keep families together. I supported ensuring crucial services for our local law enforcement by providing an additional dispatch and voting support of additional dispatch and supporting efforts like the Community Action Response Team work hard to address the challenges of mental health in our community. My dedication to transparency and accountability continued when I was elected to the Village of Weston Board of Trustees in 2018. There I advocated for strong financial responsibility, live streaming of board meetings, and exploring alternative revenue sources to address the financial constraints that our village faced on a daily basis. All this experience has led me here. All my experience has taught me and informed me of the challenges that our community face, what our home will face. We can either confront these challenges individually and fail, or work together and overcome. I have witnessed the incredible power of people uniting for a common cause and the tremendous impact that they have. I vividly remember the first time I encountered the power of people uniting together for a common cause. It was a time when my father worked for it was a time when the company my father worked for was on the verge of cutting jobs, outsourcing operations, and neglecting to increase wages. As a proud union member, my father and countless others stood together and marched in the pouring rain during a strike. Together they stood up for their rights and made a real difference. My father and his union shared a dream of fair wages, job security, and safe working conditions. Through their collective efforts, they turned that dream into a reality. That moment taught me several lessons. It showed me the power of people coming together. And I've learned that we should never be afraid of dreaming too big. Instead, we should fear not doing enough. It is reasonable to aspire for a brighter future for ourselves and future generations. Just like my father and those before who dream of a brighter future, I too envision a better and brighter future. Every night as I drift off to sleep, I envision an incredible 85th district. I dream of an 85th district where the economy is robust, our public schools are funded, our community is the safest, access to justice is guaranteed, our healthcare system is strengthened, and our environment is protected. I dream of an 85th where our local businesses thrive, where we prioritize investing in our most valuable asset, our people, and where we focus on enhancing our local labor force. I dream of an 85th where we address the childcare crisis by fostering collaborations between governments, the private sector, and nonprofits to ensure fair compensation for childcare workers and educators. I dream of an 85th where the childcare industry was profitable and thriving. I dream of an 85th where we resolve the housing crisis through strategic partnerships with developers and local governments to provide sufficient affordable housing for our community's growth. I dream of an 85th where all households, urban and rural, had equitable access to broadband, not solely relying on federal funds, but utilizing our resources effectively to bridge the digital divide in underserved areas like the rural parts of the 85th and Wisconsin. I dream of an 85th where we invest in our infrastructure, support the growth of our local airports, and ensure our roads are well maintained to keep our economy strong. I dream of an 85th where our school district receive adequate funding to address mental health, support students with special needs, and provide resources for academically advanced students. I dream of an 85th where schools are safe havens for learning and no student goes hungry. I dream of an 85th where funding for public safety providers is prioritized, workforce shortages are addressed, and mental health care services are readily available. I dream of an 85th where access to justice is ensured through fully funding critical programs like the Violence Against Women Act and Victims of Crime Act, as well as prioritizing funding for legal aid organizations. I dream of a strong healthcare system where we invest in medical education programs to combat workforce shortage and enhance access to health and mental health care in schools. I dream of an 85th where proactive measures were taken to expand Medicaid, strengthen medical providers, and safeguard against threats to healthcare access in rural communities. I dream of an 85th where we prioritize environmental protections by tackling issues such as lead pipes, PFAS, and other environmental contaminations to prevent further hardships. I dreamed of an 85th where we can all disagree with one another and still love one another because we're neighbors. I dream of an 85th where peace blossoms because we set aside our partisanships and focus on what's best for our community, for our home. Once again, we should never be afraid of dreaming too big. Instead, we should fear not dreaming enough. It is reasonable to aspire to a brighter future for ourselves and future generations. But let me be clear, these are all dreams. Dreams for our communities can only become a reality when we take action and fight for it. One of my favorite stories to tell is a story told by the Irish. The Irish tells of a story of a man who arrives at the gates of heaven and asks to be let in. St. Peter says, "Of course, just show us your scars." The man responds, "I have no scars." St. Peter looks at him and responds, "What a pity. Was there nothing worth fighting for?" I thought about this story a lot throughout the last few years. I reflected on the challenges that our community faced, and I reflected on the dream that I had for our community, for our home. And eventually I asked myself, is this community, my home, worth fighting for? And it is. It is time to take action, and I will no longer wait for good things to happen. I will now work to ensure great things happen. That is why I am proud to announce my candidacy for Assembly District 85 to represent my community and my home. I want to thank Representative Snyder for his years of service. However, I believe that my years of experience and service in local government, including my roles on the school board, village board, county board, and in nonprofit organizations, have not only prepared me for this position, but have also allowed me to remain in touch with the issues facing our community. I have fought tirelessly in the trenches to ensure that our community's best interests were prioritized above politics. With extensive experience and dedication to service, I am confident that I am the best candidate to represent you, Assembly District 85 in Madison. To my fellow neighbors, if you elect me as your representative, I will work tirelessly for all of you with dignity, integrity, and without judgment. This campaign is not about me. It is about each and every single one of you. I cannot do this without you, so I ask for your help and your support. Whether you donate, knock on doors, host a meet and greet, or make a phone call to get out the vote, your help is greatly appreciated. But most importantly, on November 5th, 2024, vote Ye for Wisconsin. This is my home, this is our home. It is worth fighting for a brighter future. Let's move Wisconsin forward together. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Yiling. I was trying to collect myself as Yiling was speaking. I went from having a rock in my throat and tears in my eyes because my American story resonated with his. And then I went to having fire in my soul and vision for a better world for all, and confidence for applicable change. Yiling's integrity and authentic characteristic skill sets serve and represent the foundation of our community. You can trust work will be done with integrity, character, and follow-through for the greater good of the whole community. Yiling is great at calibrating invitation to solve problems and plans to transition that skill set into the 85th Assembly District, giving us confidence to look forward to what is in store for our community. Thank you everyone for your time, and thank you to all the guest speakers for gracing us with your presence. Ye for 85th Assembly.